This meeting is really short because we're just gonna give you some general information this morning. Thank you for coming. Okay, for those of you that have been here a while, these products are not new, but what's happened is in our management meetings, we've experienced that some people may have not had these benefits explained to them real well. So what we did is I went back to Colonial Life and asked them for what's called a guaranteed issue, which means there's no health questions to get these products. And if the guaranteed issue comes off, what happens is you can be declined coverage. So underwriting doesn't like to re-establish guaranteed issues. It's kind of like buying insurance on your house when it's burning down. So through some negotiations, and one of them was that I get to talk to everybody, and you get to sign up, and you get to meet with the enroller, that they would put the guaranteed issue back on the policy. So that's why it's so important that I just want to visit with you for a few minutes on what that guaranteed issue means to you and let you know what products are available. Okay, we're not here to sell you anything, to make you purchase anything. We don't really care about that. What we want is to make sure you know what your benefits are. So this is just one part of the benefit that we're going to talk about today. We're only going to talk about the Colonial Life. If you have questions on the health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, you can see me after. So we're just going to talk about these Colonial benefits. So in your packet, we're just going to follow the cheat sheet. Good morning. There you go. Does anybody here have Colonial? Couple people? Okay, great. So the products aren't changing. We're going to stay with the same 4 basic products. So on your cheat sheet in your informational packet, I want you to circle 4 things so you can kind of reflect back on what they're going to be. On the first page where it says income protection, circle where it says short-term disability, right next to it. Short-term disability. When you go down to halfway below the page, income protection, it says accident care, circle accident care. You flip the page over, on the top it says cancer, circle cancer. Underneath that, critical illness. So those are the 4 products we're going to talk about: short-term disability, accident, cancer, and critical illness. Short-term disability, we're going to go back to the front of the page. I'm going to back up 1 second though. These benefits are going to be effective September 1st. So that's how we need to get going on this, because we got to get information to payroll, you got to meet with the enroller, so we're a little bit ahead of the game, but there's a reason for that. So September 1st, these are going to be in effect. The benefits are paid for by you, the employee. But what the employer is doing for you, they're taking the premiums out pre-tax, which means they come out, the premiums come out before your taxes come out, which reduces your taxable income. Okay, so that's what the employer can do for you. That's why we bring these products to you in a group setting. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, now we're going to just talk about short-term disability. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into each product individually. I'm going to give you some highlights of it. If you have any questions, I have my business card. You can always call me later or find Brandon. He knows how to get a hold of me. So in your packet, there is a pamphlet on each one of the 4 products that we're going to bring back with the guaranteed issue. So that's why I'm not going to go into each of the products in detail. You're smart people, you can read up it, you can call me, you can ask Brandon, okay? And you're going to get to sit with a one-on-one with an enroller. So if you have questions, you can talk to that enroller. They're very, very knowledgeable in these products. Everyone has to meet with the enroller, even if you're declining coverage, because we want that electronic waiver. It's part of the negotiation I had to do to get the guaranteed issue back on it, okay? So you get your questions ready, talk to the enroller. If you don't have any questions and you just want to waive, you just meet with them. I have sign-up sheets. The dates to meet with the enroller are gonna be August 4th and August 10th, I believe, right? So I have sign-up sheets here for that. Okay, short-term disability. I'm running out of my 10 minutes here. Short-term disability. Short-term disability protects your income. It's a product that if you can't work, you can still receive a monthly benefit for not working because you've become sick or you've had accident. Okay, so that's what it covers, is sickness and accident. There's 3 criteria with short-term disability that you need to understand in purchasing this product, because you get to build your own benefit for short-term disability. It's a customizable product. So the examples on here are just examples. That's not what you have to pay. You can build your own. There's 3 criteria in short-term disability. The first one is the yellow highlights. They're called elimination periods. You select, you build your own elimination period. Do you want to wait 7 days after you've been sick to collect a benefit? Do you want to wait 7 days after you had an accident to collect a benefit? Those are called elimination periods. There's 2 examples on here. Typically, with sickness, we wait 7 days, because if you get a cold, it doesn't mean you're going to be out of work for a month. But if you're kind of getting walking pneumonia, and it might take 7 days to determine that, you could be out of work for a month, and then your benefit would kick in. An accident, you know you had an accident, you know you broke your leg, you usually don't have to wait 7 days for the doctor to tell you you can't work. So that's a customizable criteria that you can build for your own needs. Things that you want to keep in mind on picking your elimination period would be, how long can you go without a benefit? Do you have PTO built up? Do you have some money in savings? Do you have a spouse that works? Do you live with your daughter or your mom? You know, what are your financial needs that you have to make? Okay, that's criteria 1. Criteria 2, if you look right past the elimination period, it says 3-month benefit period. That's how long do you want to collect the benefit? Do you want to collect this monthly benefit for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 18 months, up to 2 years? Typically don't go past 2 years. As you know, in this industry, once you're disabled for 2 years, you typically get Social Security disability. Okay? That's the second criteria. The third criteria is going to be, how much of a benefit do you want monthly? And that's the column that runs across the heading. 500, 1,000, 1,500. How much of a benefit do you want? And you can go up to 60% of your gross income. Okay, so those are the 3 criteria with short-term disability. Now I have to explain one more thing with short-term disability. Because we have the guaranteed issue on, there's no health questions. What happens then on guaranteed issue is there's a small window, what's called a pre-existing condition. So if you have a illness or an injury that you've been treated for in the past 12 months, from September 1 backwards, you've had an illness or an injury that you had treated the past 12 months. For the first 12 months of this policy, that, and you go out on leave, that particular incident will not be covered under your disability. But once you get past 12 months, it will be covered. Okay? So an example is, let's say December 2014, you went into your doctor and said, my wrist is hurting me. And you're thinking you have carpal tunnel. And the doctor looks at it and says, I don't think we should do anything. You may have just sprained it. Let's just wait and see what happens. That was December 2014. And you know what? It didn't bother you. You never went back in for it. It all went away. Must have been a sprain. It aches a little bit, but no big deal. Doctor hasn't looked at it. You haven't mentioned it to the doctor. So you haven't had it treated for quite a while. Past 12 months. And now you buy the short-term disability policy, and October 1st, you're like, my arm is hurting me again. My wrist is really hurting me. I'm gonna go back into the doctor, and the doctor says, yeah, you need carpal tunnel surgery. Because that incident has not been treated for the past 12 months, that disability policy will now cover it. Okay?
Does this work along with if you're on workman's comp?
There's criteria for that. There's gonna be offsets on that. Because workers' comp pays first if you get hurt on the job. Okay?
They don't pay.
No, so there's criteria that would have to be met on that, okay? That's quite a long process. Maternity benefit is covered on here for gals that are in childbearing years and building your family. What has to happen, because this is a guaranteed issue, that baby has to be born 9 months past September 1. So basically, you should not be pregnant, you cannot be pregnant when the policy is in force on September 1. If you are pregnant, you deliver that baby 9 months later, you're okay. Okay, so pregnancy benefit is covered. Okay? Questions on short-term disability? What we want to make sure is if you're interested in this product, we feel this is probably the #1 product of the 4. This is the most important. What we want to make sure is that if you're interested in this product, to make sure you can afford it. Don't build a plan that's so extensive that in 3 months you're going to call me because you need to cancel because you can't afford it. We don't want that. We'd rather have you start small, okay? And the enroller will be able to help you with that. Any questions on short-term disability? Brandon, do you have anything to add on that? Okay. The next one is accident coverage. That's pretty simple. It covers you if you have an accident. And the easiest way to explain it, and you may have seen it already, is in your pamphlet, there's this pamphlet that has the accident on top of it. If you look in the middle, open it up, that is the best example of what is covered under an accident policy and how it's covered. There's surgical, non-surgical, there's if you need an ambulance ride, there's reimbursement for that. These are lump sum benefits for an accident that you may occur or experience. There's lodging, transportation. There's also dismemberment on this, meaning if you lose a pinky or eyesight, there's a lump sum benefit under this accident policy. There's also a lump sum benefit under that under your life policy. Okay, any questions on the accident? What it's going to cover? Couple key points that I want you to note on the accident. When you look on your little cheat sheet, you can buy it for you, yourself, your spouse, your children and your spouse and yourself, family policy. One thing, if you're thinking of the accident policy, something that might help you make that decision is if you look from the second to the bottom bullet point where it says $50 wellness reimbursement. Under your health insurance plan, it doesn't matter if you have the health insurance plan here, if you're covered under your spouse, if you're covered under Medicaid, Medicare, it doesn't matter. Every policy in the United States has what's called preventive care, routine physical. So every year you should be getting your annual routine physical. And when you do that, you call Colonial, you let them know you did that. They're going to send you a reimbursement check for $50. That $50 generally pays about half of your premium for that accident policy. And that's an annual benefit. Okay? Does anybody here have accident care? No? Okay. Any questions on accident care? Okay, we're going to flip the page. Cancer, that is exactly what it covers, is cancer. If you put the rider on there, you'll get a benefit of $5,000 lump sum benefit paid to you just for being diagnosed. And you can talk to your enroller about how that works. Cancer, the one thing I do want to point out that you can review real quickly in your pamphlet, cancer benefits are sold on level benefits. So we have a level 2 and a level 3 benefit. Depending on the benefit amount that you buy, the level you purchase, that denotes what your reimbursement, your benefit lump sum amount would be. Level 3 pays higher than level 2, but level 2 has still got some very good coverages. If you have had, I should back up. If you've had cancer in the last 5 years, in order to purchase the cancer policy, which you can do, which we are doing at some other sites, you need to be 5 years cancer free. And then you can purchase this policy. Okay? Any questions on the cancer benefit? One thing I do want to point out, again on the bullet points, the third one from the bottom up, again, it has a health screening on it with a reimbursement benefit of $100. So if you go in for your mammogram, your Pap, your colonoscopy, prostate, any kind of cancer screening wellness benefit, and you call Colonial again, they're going to send you a $100 reimbursement benefit for doing that pre-screening. Okay, questions? Cancer, from the American Cancer Society, 1 in 3 women will contract cancer, 1 in 2 men will contract cancer, and their statistics are showing that cancer is not hereditary. That's just what they say. So, little information. Last one, critical illness. Critical illness, the easiest way to understand critical illness, again, to look at your pamphlet in the inside, first page, there's 5 major critical illnesses that this policy pays, which are, if you have a heart attack, stroke, coronary artery bypass surgery, end-stage renal failure, major organ transplant, and you've purchased this policy and you contract one of these diseases, the benefit will be paid for how you purchase the policy, which is usually a large benefit. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Again, these are customizable products that you build for yourself. Any questions on the critical illness? That's the end of my meeting. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.